there's Zach Greinke back on the mound to start his third inning of work. He's a former first-round draft pick, and we're pleased to be joined now by the Brewers scouting director, Bruce Seid. Great to have you with us. I know
pleasure as always.
The first phase is over here of the draft. Now you got to try to get these guys signed. But tell us, in your opinion, the big picture, the broad brush, how the draft went for you.
Well, I think we accomplished some goals. You know, you always go into a draft looking for impact-type players, and power tools and power skills, definitely bring you impact. And where we were picking, we had the board lined up based on all of our looks and all of our evaluations, and we feel fortunate enough that some of the guys, actually all the guys that we wanted, got to us, and we walked out of there with a smile on our face.
Kind of unusual for the Brewers. 4 position players in the first 4 picks. How did it come about?
Well, people could say, is it planned that way? Because we took pitchers a lot over the last couple years. But in reality, you line up the board. There's pitchers on the board. There's position players on the board. And just so happens, we stay true. I mean, the first couple rounds, you're always staying true to your board. Because that's where you get your best impact.
I've got a catcher, the overall #1 pick from Milwaukee, 27th overall pick, Clint Coulter. Tell us about him.
Yeah, he's just he's a big physical guy. He's an athletic kid. Everything he does is with power and behind it. And on top of it, he's got really good makeup. So he's not a polished guy behind the plate. He does have some skills to hit for a kid in the Northwest. He played in all the major tournaments and showcases, and he was very successful against the top players out there. So he does have skills to hit. Needs a little polish behind the plate, but the skills to catch are there.
Now visiting with Bruce Seid, who is just wrapping up the draft, Major League Baseball draft, being completed. Started on Monday. Clint Coulter was the first Brewers pick. And then you guys had the very next pick in Victor Roach, who is a power hitter, as Castro drives one into the gap in right center. And this will go for extras. Castro thinking about third. He'll smartly stop at second base with a double. And that is the second hit for the Cubs in this ball game against Greinke. But tell us about Roach, because he's a guy that is injured, and I know it's a calculated risk, but what was the process to make you want to select him with your second pick?
Well, going into the year, he was out of reach for us. I mean, he's a premier power guy. I saw him at Fenway Park at the Cape Cod All-Star game, and he hit balls over the the monster and out of the stadium. And you just knew this was a kid that had the power to profile as a middle of the order bat. He's athletic too. He could play profiles in the corners, but he had this unfortunate injury, and as an organization, you're looking for opportunity, and we felt opportunity existed when this happened. We stayed on top of it. Our scouts did a really good job of keeping him in the mix, and we did our due diligence. We had our doctors. He came to Milwaukee just last week. Our doctors, Dr. Ross, Roger Kaplinger, took a look at him. They both felt very comfortable that he's going to be 100% down the road. So, yeah, I mean, we felt that the reward outweighed the risk in this situation.
It seems as though a lot of high school kids early on. It looked to me on this sheet here, it looks like 7 of the first 13 picks out of high school. Is that is there a reason for that, or is it, like you said, just the way the board lined up for you?
Well, we started after the first 3-4 rounds. We started looking for tools. We started looking for guys that offered opportunity to have high-end ceiling, and that's where we went at that point. As I look at from the 6th round on, there's a high school player, there's a high school shortstop who's got some upside. That's Angel Ortega. David Otterman's a left-handed pitcher that throws up to 92. That we feel if he makes a couple adjustments, could wind up being a pretty good pitcher. Right now, he's got to do a few things that'll enable him to have a little more feel in the zone. And after that, there's some young guys that have some upside that we really like.
Yeah, we picked a guy from UW Milwaukee,
Yeah,
Eric Semmelhack, out of Oak Creek, homespun kid. Tell us about him.
Well, Harvey Keene, our scout, you know, obviously from Milwaukee, knows, knows the program real well here. We have good relationships with the coaches. They do a great job there. They had a couple kids drafted this year. But he came to our workout, and, you know, this is a big kid that throws up to 95. So, you know, when you get a guy that's throwing up to 95, as physical he is, he can spin the breaking ball. It's hard to pass up, especially where you got him.
95 with a hook. No matter, it doesn't matter where you're from, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.